The KSHB 41I team has spent months looking into the systems meant to protect athletes in Olympic sports.
Congress created a group called the U.S. Center for Safe Sport in the wake of the Larry Nassar scandal, with a mission to protect athletes who are part of the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic movement.
As part of its mission, the center now publishes the names of sanctioned coaches, trainers, and others it believes pose a potential risk to those athletes. And the actions range from temporary suspension to lifetime bans from their sports, for everything from allegations of misconduct to criminal convictions for sexual abuse.
Now, we must warn you here, some of the details are disturbing. Tonight, I-Team reporter Kat Reed digs deeper into the names on that list from Missouri and Kansas.
This is the U.S. Center for Safe Sports centralized disciplinary database. It's a public list that now includes more than 1,500 names, including about 50 from Missouri and Kansas. Tonight, we focus on 2 coaches on this list, both convicted of sexual crimes against their athletes. Those survivors find some solace in seeing their coaches' names on this list, but little in the investigative process that led up to it.
He was known as a great coach, and he produced great players, and we all aspired to be as good as those players.
Those aspirations led a young Adrian Jensen, a rising star on the tennis courts, to move to Kansas City and work with a coach named Rex Haltain. But the 14-year-old's dreams to compete on the collegiate level and even in the Olympics quickly faded.
I was built up and praised and then ripped down and degraded and abused, and I don't think anyone is equipped to handle that.
Or the sexual assault she alleges she later endured at the hands of her coach.
It was a very slow, calculated, manipulated technique that my coach used, and it didn't happen overnight.
In a lawsuit against the U.S. Tennis Association, Jensen accuses Haltain of flooding her phone with text messages, initially praising her body and appearance, then demanding nude photos and sexual favors. And finally, in 2010, during an out-of-town tournament, she says he sexually assaulted her. 11 years later, the pain still echoes in her voice.
I absolutely ache and hurt for my 14 and 15-year-old self, because I felt like I was alone and fighting in silence and felt broken and that I was breaking every day.
Breaking, but not broken. Jensen reported Haltain to authorities, action that in 2013 led to federal charges against him and a 6.5-year sentence for soliciting child pornography. But we discovered Haltain's name didn't appear on the Center for Safe Sports list as permanently ineligible until 2020, 3 years after it started this public disciplinary database.
And it took that long to get on that list. I don't understand that.
Her attorney, Brian CORNWELL, says the Center for Safe Sport is just another level of bureaucracy designed to protect national governing bodies instead of abused athletes.
You've got a clearinghouse so that they're trying to limit liability on the NGBs by sending it to Safe Sport, saying, well, it's our policy and procedure to send it to someone else to investigate.
Unlike police, CORNWELL says the center doesn't have the legal firepower needed to thoroughly investigate cases of sexual abuse.
Safe Sport has no subpoena power, so why are we wasting our time and money, frankly, with a whole different organization that doesn't really have any power?
He says national governing bodies like USA Tennis must also be held accountable in cases like Adrian's.
They're selling to kids and parents that the only way you're going to get to the Olympics is through these national governing bodies, and they've got a responsibility to protect these athletes, and they've failed miserably at that.
Jensen's suit also says USA Tennis didn't publicly list Haltain or any other banned coaches on its website until 2021. The I-Team reached out to USTA, but it said it would not comment on pending litigation. However, in a court document responding to Jensen's lawsuit, the organization said it was not aware, nor should it have been aware, of Haltain's alleged dangerous proclivities, and that it did not have a legal duty to warn or protect Jensen. In the years since her assault, Jensen found the courage to get back on the court, even playing on the collegiate level. She doesn't blame the sport, but says those in power failed her, including officials with USTA, who she says never reached out to acknowledge her abuse. In a court document, USTA says it did not receive notice of that abuse until 2019.
I feel that I represented them and the sport so well for so long and competed with integrity and honesty, and just to be discarded like I was, it was hurtful.
Push. There you go. Foot.
Kim Bergman knows that pain too.
A lot of these predators, it's not the creepy guy in the corner. It's the everybody's best friend.
A best friend and coach who Bergman says preyed on her when she was a young gymnast.
Parents loved him, kids loved him, and he was the ticket to being on team. He was the head coach at the time.
He is this man, convicted sex offender David Byrd of Kansas, whose name is also on the Center for Safe Sports list as permanently ineligible. Bergman started training with him at 12. Gymnastics became a refuge from a troubled home life, but that sense of shelter was shattered. In a lawsuit involving the USOC, she says Byrd assaulted her in 1998 at a gymnastics camp.
He was great at hiding what he would do.
Bergman confided in a trusted coach, writing letters about the abuse.
In my letter, I said, this might sound kind of weird.
She also filed reports about Byrd with police and the Kansas Department for Children and Families, which substantiated her abuse in 2002. But Byrd was never charged. Bergman, however, continued to warn other gymnasts about Byrd, who kept coaching after her incident.
We would find out he was coaching somewhere, and one of the owners from the gym that I was at, that I'd done gymnastics at and I worked at, he and I tried to help make sure that he didn't coach or hurt anyone else, so we would let a gym know.
But our investigation reveals that years later, other young gymnasts accused Byrd of touching them inappropriately, including TESS RAMIREZ.
It happens so slowly that you don't even recognize that it's gone from coach to inappropriate best friend until he's asking me to send him pictures.
Like Bergman, Ramirez considered the gym a shelter from her parents' contentious divorce. But she says that safe space soon turned dangerous because of Coach David Byrd.
He grabbed me from behind and started putting his hands under my shirt and feeling me everywhere, and I froze.
Ramirez reported the incident to police. David Byrd pleaded guilty to indecent liberties with a child, and in 2009, he was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. Conviction records reveal 4 other women came forward after Byrd's arrest to report he also abused them, accounts dating back to 1995. Byrd's name was added to the Center for Safe Sports database a year after it was created. But we discovered USA Gymnastics didn't add Byrd's name to its own list of banned coaches until 2018, a decade after his arrest. That delay was in spite of repeated reports to USAG by Kim Bergman.
The response I was given was that because he was never convicted of my abuse, when he was an active USAG member, they couldn't put him on the list. And because he was finally convicted of TESS, they couldn't put him on the list because he was not an active member.
A spokesperson for USAG explained that new rules put into place in 2017 allowed it to add non-active members to its list. Bergman also reported Byrd to the Center for Safe Sport in 2018. That's the year Safe Sport added him to its list. But Bergman said she never heard from the center.
I always wonder, is he on the list because of me, or is he on the list because of TESS? Is it because of both?
Despite the trauma these 3 women endured, they have each found their own roads to recovery. Bergman became a social worker and now coaches gymnastics.
There you go.
She also joined more than 500 other survivors, including victims of Larry Nassar, in a lawsuit against USAG and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee. The suit was recently settled for $380 million. Ramirez just graduated from law school, and Jensen is studying to become a nurse practitioner, specializing in sexual abuse cases.
I hope to help others move forward and be strong in the broken places, because This is not something that has to define a person, and it's not something that victims have to carry alone.
The I-Team reached out to David Bird and Rex Haltane. Immigration officials confirmed they deported Haltane back to New Zealand in 2020. He didn't respond to an email from the I-Team. David Bird also didn't respond to any of our messages, despite multiple attempts to reach him by phone and in person. For the I-Team, I'm Kat Reed, KSHB 41.